Alright, so as always, take this with a grain of salt. These are not confirmed. The images I'm providing is just for references. So first off, here we have is live action as always. Here we have is the Batman Begins. Now yesterday it was the anniversary of Batman Begins, and sadly we did not get anything from Mcfarlane. But they do know that people have been wanting to get other characters such as Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul, Rachel Dawes, Harvey Dent. And the video I'm gonna provide you guys right now, it comes from a live stream from Brad at DC Geek Universe, where they interview a guy that works at Mcfarlane. So they do know about all the characters that people have been wanting.
Like Raj Al Ghul, maybe
Yeah.
Jonathan Crane in his suit with just the mask on, like from beginning of Dark Knight.
Yes.
You know, yes, Rachel Dawes. Who else am I missing there? But yeah, there's more characters. Same with Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. You know, there's more characters.
Yeah.
As fans,
I mean, you could even do Harvey Dent before he became Two-Face as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So you're saying that once these movie lines are released, it's not the end of it, possibly. You could see
we've
waves.
kind of summed them up in the Build-A-Figure waves, but it doesn't mean. I mean, you saw that with Dark Knight. I mean, we had the interrogation scene. You know, Lucius Fox. There's been more to come from them. We can't maybe get a whole Build-A-Wave out of them, but you know, there's certainly more figures to come.
So there you have it. Just because they already finished with a wave doesn't mean there's more opportunities for more live action figures to come. So fingers crossed they actually drop some new Batman Begins figures. Next up here we have is from Batman and Robin. What's being rumored for this is that they were supposed to be getting a Bat Cycle from Robin. And the figure was going to be included with the winter suit. The winter suit is not 100% confirmed, but I did hear that we're supposed to be getting a Bat Cycle of Robin. So we might get the Bat Cycle and not the figure that I'm mentioning, because that one has like a very, very slim chance of happening. But the Bat Cycle has a higher chance of it becoming true. Next up we have, it is Justice League. These are the Parademons. Well, it's not really specifically Justice League. It could also be from Batman vs Superman if they want to, because they also have Parademons in that movie. Here we have is also Jared Leto's Joker. Now this one we don't know if it's from the Justice League version or if it's from the Suicide Squad. I'm more leaning forward to the Justice League, because if they do Suicide Squad, Jared Leto, then they'll probably have to do a whole other new wave of ODC movies. So yeah, but I think right now they're just concentrating on the new stuff for the new DC movies coming out. So with like any other rumor that I'm talking in this video, we have to wait and see if it's gonna end up becoming true. Next up here we have, it is 90s Flash TV show. This one I am quite excited for, because I know that Mattel made one for this version of Flash, and now he's going for like a lot of money. And I'm sure if Mcfarlane makes this figure, I think that they're gonna do a better job than what Mattel did, and probably give us some effects in there. Here we also have is Val Kilmer Panther suit. This one, they kind of joked about it because it's obviously an obvious figure that they can make. They already have the mold. All they have to do is just swap or kind of recolor it a little bit, because they already have the suit. They already have the mold. I don't know why Mcfarlane's taking very long for them to actually give us a Panther suit.
Ooh, the Panther suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an obvious one for sure. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here we have is also one that people have been asking for, and a lot of people have been asking for this one, and it is a Linda Carter Wonder Woman figure. This one was actually mentioned by Todd McFarlane himself, that they will look into it, but that's pretty much all he said. And that he looks like he's interested on making it, because he did mention like they're making the old characters of Batman, like Adam West Batman, Christopher Reeve. So he does, I think he does want to make a Linda Carter Wonder Woman, but I guess you have to go with all the rights, like the likeness, if they could get the likeness and all that.
Linda Carter articulated. I'm going to ask about that, because we've now done Christopher Reeves and Adam West and all the old school stuff. So I'm going to see whether that's a possibility. Sometimes there's...
Going back to Batman and Robin, here we have is Bane. Now this one has not been listed in anything. They do talk about this in the live stream, so I wanted to include this guy in this list. because they do know that people want this Bane from the Batman and Robin movie. So I'm just gonna include it in case it does happen.
So
It's
Bane's
been-
not out of the question, is what you're saying.
for Batman and Robin.
No, he's talking about the Dark
Yes.
Knight trilogy, Rob.
No, I'm talking about Batman and Robin. Since you
I
said
know
you
what
have
you
more
mean.
figures to get to.
that's a little complicated, but I'm not going to say we're not trying. So yeah, we'll keep trying, Rob. Don't worry.
I'm sure it's the licensing and all that has to go into that, I would imagine.
Yeah, again, that's kind of out of my lane, but yeah, you know, there's figures that every pitch season we all ask for. Can we do this guy yet? Can we do this person yet? Can we do this character yet? Whatever. And you know, hopefully we'll get there.
All right, so now here we have it is Supergirl from the Supergirl movie that is coming this year. This one is already confirmed by Mcfarlane Toys themselves, so this one's not really a rumor, but since it's not 100% confirmed, I'll just put it in here. And I'm pretty sure later on we will be getting more characters such as Lobo, which we know that he's going to be in the movie.
We've got exciting products planned for 2026, including Supergirl movie line, in addition to our Superman movie line that is coming this summer. Now, discussions regarding our DC rights for 2027 and beyond are still ongoing, and we will provide an update in the future once those plans are solidified.
Alright, now here we have is one that has been the recent for live action, and it is Peacemaker. And this one says live action, but I'm guessing it's from the new seasons coming out. I really doubt they're going to go back and do another Peacemaker from the season 1, because I already made from the movie. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be from the season 2 Peacemaker. Another one that Todd McFarlane himself said that they were going to be planning on making was the Batman 89 Batwing, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be around almost the same price as the Flash version that we got. But this one is the Batman 89 Batwing, so I'm pretty sure people are going to be more hyped about this one than they were with the Flash.
The Batwing, the 89 Batwing, okay, sure, we'll get it.
Alright, now heading to the live action vehicles, here we have is the Batmobile from Justice League. Most people were expecting the BBS version, which is being rumored also that it might be a 2-in-1, but knowing McFarlane, they'll probably just end up selling separate, be it a McFarlane Toys exclusive, Target exclusive, Amazon, whichever one, because honestly, it is basically almost the same vehicle. All it has in the Justice League, I believe, is the cannon and a little bit more of guns in there. And this one's kind of already confirmed because some people have spotted it in the Amazon. At Amazon, he's already like listed in there. It's called is BGL. So basically, it's a Batmobile Justice League. And not only that, but it was already teased by McFarlane Toys.
As I'm sure, you know, a lot of you are aware, we've done some other Alfreds from other movies, and we've also had Batmobiles that have come with those Alfreds. Now, there's a certain Batmobile that may have been in the movie that this Alfred was also in. So that's all I'll say for now. But there's a Batmobile, a very significant one that is missing, and a few actually others that's from other movies that we haven't gotten to yet. So just a little hint there that there might be some very exciting Batmobile related news to come. So with that said, you know what?
And as you heard, he also mentioned some other teases for other live action Batmobiles, which there is actually another Batmobile that got rumored, and it is the Batmobile from the Batman. So it looks like we're going to be getting the Batmobile also in here, which it's kind of weird that they didn't include this already when the movie came out. But hey, it's better late than never. Going back to Ben Affleck, here we have it is Batman with Batcycle, based on the movie from The Flash. Obviously, this is from Ben Affleck's Batman, because he's the only one that appeared with a Batcycle in that movie. So yeah, all we can hope from this is that they do a better job with the head sculpt on the figure. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna just add some battle damage to the Batcycle. All they can do with this Batman, and I'm pretty sure it will be the blue version. I don't think they'll give us a black version once again, since people do prefer the blue version over the black one. And lastly but not least, the newest vehicle we have gotten, it is the Duck from Batman Returns. and it is also being rumored that it's going to be included with a Penguin figure. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be different to the one we have been shown. So, and this one, I kind of have a price. I believe in the listing it said $100. So I don't know. You tell me if it's reasonable price. I think it's a reasonable price if the duck uh, has detail and it's big. If it's a big duck with the figure in there. All right, so this one is in the middle. This is for Watchmen people. This is in the middle because I don't know if it's comic book or live action. They mentioned both in the live stream. So, I mean, sadly, they say they can't do like classic Watchmen. They can only do the live action from Zack Snyder, or they could do the one from the crossover with DC.
Watchmen in general, is it a harder figure to produce? I know even at DC Direct, you guys never could do a classic Watchmen line. You did the movie figures, you did Doomsday Clock, but I know you produced some prototype Watchmen figures, but like,
Yeah.
why is it so hard to do Watchmen in 7-inch?
I honestly I don't know the full story or the ins and outs of it. The prototypes that you were speaking of were before my time at DC Direct, I think by a few years. But in the time that I've been around, it's been limited to the media stuff. So the Zack Snyder film, which the old school DC Direct did a very thorough lineup, and then Doomsday Clock with the Essentials, pseudo Essentials line there, and then DC Direct obviously did some statues of before Watchmen. But yeah, it's complicated, and I don't know the whole story, but it's not to say we don't try, periodically to get that in there.
All right, next up here we have it is the comic books figures. Here we have is Wonder Woman. Now this one is going to be like a black and white version of Wonder Woman, and it's supposed to be, I'm guessing, from the collector's edition, because it's being mentioned in the live stream that they are going to be reusing that figure. And in this listing it says that it's going to be one of those black and white where like the Red Hood one, where all his suit was like black and white, and then the red on his helmet, and some I believe the symbol also was red. With Wonder Woman, obviously it's gonna be yellow, so I'm presuming his tiara is gonna be yellow. Her chest of the armor is gonna be yellow. For a future J here, I wanted to include also this in here because this one was apparently rumored from a Chinese or Philippine or whatever store here, that apparently we're gonna be getting a patina Wonder Woman. If you don't know what a patina is, it's that freaking brown color that Mcfarlane puts on the figures. It's supposed to be like a statue, quote unquote, a statue. And in here it says classic Wonder Woman. So my guess is that we're gonna be getting the collector's edition Wonder Woman, but this time around it's gonna be colored patina. So
she came out beautiful. Luckily I got one. Any chance we're gonna get a reissue of her,
or like a reboot?
More than likely, yes. More than likely. Okay. We're just letting that one. I think just the team really crushed it on that one.
They did. They got
the classic one, and we're just kind of letting that breathe a little bit, rather than inundate you guys with a bunch of different Wonder Womans. But yeah, there's more to come there for sure.
Next up here we have is a small update on Mr. Bones and Obsidian. First up here we have is Mr. Bone. There's going to be one with a comic, and then another one with no comic. And Obsidian is going to be a gold labeled. He's going to have a chase with comic and no comic. So I'm guessing one of them is going to be a page puncher and the other one won't be a page puncher. This was kind of confusing, but this is the update on those two figures. Next up here we have our some female figures. First off, it is Poison Ivy. At the moment, I don't know what version of Poison Ivy they're gonna go for. Hopefully classic, but it looks like classic stuff is usually reserved for the digital stuff. So yeah, let me know down in the comments which ones you would like to see, which version of Poison Ivy you would like to see for this. I believe there's a collector's editions, I believe. Next up here we have it is Black Canary. This is one also that people have been streaming for, and it looks like Mcfarlane is actually gonna make these figures. I don't know if this year or starting next year, since we all know about the DC license stuff, which is still going on. And just like Poison Ivy, I don't know which version of Black Canary this is. It could be any Black Canary. Our next up here we have it is Satana. Now, in my opinion, I would like to see the version of a Justice League Dark version of Satana. But the classic version would also be great. I think one of those two. I think people will be happy with those two, but people will go crazy even more if they give us the actual classic Satana. So yeah, with these three female figures, I know they're on the works already. So it's gonna take some time for them to make these figures since these are the most popular female figures people have been asking for, apart from Wonder Woman. So they've been working on these figures for quite a while. So fingers crossed that they actually come out good.
Still don't have certain key characters, and
you're saying so there's hope for Zatanna and Black Canary characters like that.
Never, Brett. No, yeah, there. Yes. So yeah, no. There's definitely. I mean, we've checked a lot of superheroines off the list in the last 2 years or so.
Mhm.
I think we've got a Starfire, Raven, Donna Troy, Huntress just announced to San Diego. Like, we're getting through them. So yeah, there's exciting things to come for sure.
All right, now here we have is Sandman. Obviously we would have already a render of him, but I'm not talking about Sandman specifically. I'm talking about like more characters of Sandman. Like, I don't know the lore of the Sandman stuff, so I don't know what characters are in this comic book. But they do talk about it. Of them trying to put more characters instead of just Sandman.
Yeah, Sandman. We've talked about doing it and making sure that we do more than just one figure to make it worth it. Rather than just a one. I mean, Sandman and Death are the obviously the 1-2. So I guess I would.
Next, here we have is Batman Incorporated. If you're like myself, how do you know this suit from the Batman Arkham games? I believe he comes in the Arkham City one and the Arkham Knight. So yeah, we're supposed to be getting now this version of Batman. Next up, here we have it is Cheetah, and it is a version of Infinite Crisis. This is the image I got from what Google told me that this was the version. But if I'm wrong, you guys can let me know that in the comments. But this is supposed to be the version that we're gonna be getting from Mcfarlane. Here we have is also the Mr. Twister / Time Twister. This is my first time hearing about him, so obviously I don't know much information about him. And just based on the name, obviously I think it's like a time traveler. I could be wrong. You guys let me know that in the comments. But here we also have it is Batman with Morpheus' chair. So it's gonna be obviously just Metron, but as Batman. Here we also have is Dr. Midnight. There's gonna be two versions, so I'm guessing this will be a collector edition. He's gonna be obviously the normal one, just normal variant, and then there's gonna be the chase variant, which I'm guessing is gonna be like this version, since this is a version that looks closest to the classic suit that he wears. Next, here we have it is one that surprised me when I saw this on the list, and it is Blackfire. I'm pretty sure you're surprised to hear this news. There's not people talking about this list in here. But yeah, we have already gotten a Blackfire figure. Well, supposedly, because it was a chase variant of Starfire. So yeah, we're finally be getting a Blackfire that everybody will be able to get. Here we also have is Batgirl purple suit. Now I'm guessing it's this version of Batgirl. It could be another version of Batgirl, which could be the one like the Batman 66 version. This one doesn't really specify what comic book. This one just says Batgirl purple suit, so it could be this one that I'm showing, or it could just be a Batgirl that we have already gotten but just painted purple. Here we have is also Red Tornado or Bronze Age. So this one might be a newly sculpted, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be reusing some parts of the previous Red Tornado. So yeah, I really don't know how much to say about this one. Hopefully this version comes with a wire cape. That's all I'm saying. And next up we have is maybe for the Green Lanterns, because this one is not really confirmed. This one has like a 50-50 feeling. Here we have is the Guardians. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to actually put these guys out as a pack, but apparently in here it says Guardians. So maybe Green Lantern, the Guardians from the Green Lantern, maybe. Again, this one is like a 50-50. Here we also have is Classic Batgirl, so it's gonna be just DC Classics Batgirl, and here we also have is another classic, and it is gonna be Scarecrow. So we're finally be getting a classic looking Scarecrow, because the one that have been giving us are not great except for the video game one. That one does look pretty cool, but it's based on the Batman Arkham Knight, so that one doesn't really count for comic book. And do you guys remember the Death Metal or Dark Metal Dark Flash? It's being rumored that they're gonna be finally coming out. We already had gotten a tease by it from behind the box. As you can see, each one of them had a different head sculpt, but all the ones we have seen just have straight up the same head sculpt. I believe there was someone overseas that had different head sculpts, but we were not sure if it was like custom or actually made from Mcfarlane. I think they were, because each one of them had a number in the back. And if you check yours, if you go and pop the head from your figure, Dark Flash, if you have one, you will see that it has a number. Hopefully I found these images and I will just put them in here. So yeah, I think I do remember seeing someone posting them, but now once again it's being rumored for them to be coming out. I don't know if it's gonna be a 3-pack or a single pack, each one of them. But yeah, if you have not gotten a Dark Flash, make sure to go out and get one before these new ones come out. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the same figures, just with different head sculpts. Alright, next up we have is a funny one. Is Batman as Black Mask, or Black Mask as Batman. So yeah, we're gonna be getting a Black Mask Batman before a actual classic Black Mask. I'm surprised they didn't give us a Batman Scarecrow before the DC classic Scarecrow. Next up here we have is Batman based on the comic book Earth 2 Society. So it's Batman Earth 2. You guys better be counting how many Batman we having in this list, because I'm not. But next up we have is another Batman. Yes, another Batman. Here we have, it is the pink version of Batman. So this one's based off on the ones my friend has already given us. I believe he gave us already the orange, the green one, I believe. I'm not really sure, or it was purple. One of those two. But next up it's gonna be the pink one. Here we also have, it is Flashpoint Batman, black and white. So maybe like the Red Hood one, where, like I said, it's all black and white and just the red is popping out. That's my guess. Here we also have, it is a 10-inch Bane, which it is a mega figure. This is going to be a glow in the dark, and it's already listed at Amazon, so there you go. In one of the live streams also, they mentioned a Batman Rebirth re-release. So it's going to be the same Batman Rebirth we have already gotten, but this time around he will come with a cloth cape, and it will still have that color scheme, the black in the back and the purple in the inside.
And the one other thing I'll mention on the DC side regarding in relation to the DC Rebirth Batmobile is we are going to be releasing another DC Rebirth Batman with a soft goods wired cape.
Yeah.
So he's got the classic gray, black, purple colors. We don't quite have him ready to show just yet, but we're just wrapping that up, and he'll be releasing at the same time. There'll be separate releases, but they will be released at the same time. So you'll be able, if you don't have a past DC Rebirth Batman to fit in the Batmobile, you'll be able to get one when this releases. So stay tuned for that.
All right, next up we have is a 2-pack. This doesn't specify if it's a DC Multiverse figure or not, but it does say that apparently it's going to be a Emperor Joker. This is just a guess, but in here it's just being listed as Batman and Joker. Here we also have, it is the Riddler from Batman Hush. I'm honestly happy that they're still doing figures for Batman Hush. Hopefully they give us Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and a few other characters that we're missing from that storyline. Next up we have is a 2-pack. It is Spectre and the Atom. I believe in here is labeled as a mega figure. I don't know if both of them are going to be mega figures. I doubt it. I think the Atom's going to be the only one that's going to be like a mega figure. But it's really cool that they're going to give us Spectre once again, because the Spectre that we got was expensive for what it was. It was like a Build-A-Figure wave. And it's just the normal standard DC Multiverse, nothing special. For $40, I don't think it was worth it. But I'm happy that they're going to give us another version of him in here. Next up we have, it is Failsafe. This is like a robot version of Batman that turns evil, I believe. So it's basically another Batman figure. Here we have is the Batman 66 Batmobile, and I have no idea why they put it in here. This should have been in the live action, but I don't want to mess up my whole editing stuff that I did. So yeah, this is from the live action Batmobile that we're going to be getting for the 7-inch figure. Next up here we have is a very interesting vehicle. It is a Flash vehicle. Now the first thing that comes to my mind is the cartoon version. The one from Justice League Unlimited where Flash shows his van to Green Lantern. So I don't know if it's supposed to be from the cartoon or if it's supposed to be from the comic book. You guys can let me know down in the comments. But in here it's just listed as Flash vehicle.
Comic vehicles that need to be gotten to. Some animated vehicles that we need to get to. So on and so forth. But yeah, I think we'll release 10 Batmobiles next year. I don't know. We'll see.
From Amazon, we also have here, it is Darkseid versus Cyborg. This is going to be a 2-pack. And that's a crazy combination. I never thought we would see a 2-pack of Cyborg versus Darkseid. So here we have, it's another Darkseid that is coming up. So hopefully this Darkseid is a little more modern. Because the ones we have gotten, he's like classic looking. And hopefully this one is different to the one we already got. Next up here we have also from Amazon. It is Green Lantern Twilight. This one I'm not sure if it's just saying from the source material or if it's gonna be a cover. It doesn't seem to say cover, but Amazon at the moment doesn't have much information about it. It just says the name of the comic book and the figure. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Next up here we have is one that I don't know if it's superpowers or if it's DC Multiverse. It is Batman Black Suit and Son of Batman and Superman and Joker. This is how it's listed in here at Amazon. I'm leaning towards more of a superpowers instead of DC Multiverse because I don't think they have ever done a 4-pack for DC Multiverse. But who knows? It might end up being for a DC Multiverse because in here it doesn't specify. In others figures that I'm going to mention here in this video, they do specify if they're superpowers. Next up here we have, it is Emerald Twilight Green Lantern. So this one is just specifying from one comic book he comes from. I don't know if it's Hal Jordan or any other Green Lantern. They might make Hal Jordan suit look more like the ones we got from the collector edition. That might be the case, and I've seen in the comic book that he has gray hair, so they might give him a little bit of gray hair in there. But like I said, I don't know if it's Hal Jordan or another Green Lantern character. Continuing with the Green Lantern, here we have is one that specifies the character, and it is a Hal Jordan bust. Now I'm guessing this is going to be like the cowls that Mcfarlane is making, the small ones, or it could end up being a big one since I know Mcfarlane made some for Batman 66 and Batman 89, the big cowls, so they could end up doing a big bust. Obviously, Green Lantern doesn't wear a mask, so it's obviously going to be the character. Hal Jordan, this is kind of new for Mcfarlane because they have done the cowls, but they have not done a character. So we have to wait and see if they end up doing more for Batman and other characters. I'm surprised they did Green Lantern instead of Batman. Alright, now heading to page punchers, here we have is Superman 0 Hour, which kind of reminds me of the one that we already got from the Justice League Task Force. That one just, I think, will probably just need a repaint because it's almost straight up the same as this one. Here we also have, it is Joker from Crisis on Infinite Earths. There's going to be a page puncher also. I really like the look of this Joker in the Crisis, so definitely going to be a pickup if this ends up being true. Alright, now heading to the middle part. Here we have is Creature Commandos. I don't know if this was being mentioned for comic book or for the cartoon from James Gunn's cartoon, Creature Commandos. One of those two, that's why I put it in the middle. But they do mention it in the live stream. And even Todd himself talks about it. And apparently there's already a list. But all we got from the cartoon was just the weasel. That's a statue.
Oh, also someone in the chat keeps saying Creature Commandos. Will we see anything like tied into that?
The new animated series or the old?
Well, either or, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of great characters. I think so. I can't. Yeah. So stay tuned. Yeah.
Creature Commandos. I'm trying to think. We talked about them the other day and made a list. So Creature Commandos might be one too.
All right, now heading to the animated line. Here we have is Batman, the animated series. Here we have is a 2-pack. It is Joker and Harley Quinn. This was already listed at Amazon, and it is kind of confirmed that's going to be the one from Mad Love 2-pack. So yeah, pretty exciting that they're going to be releasing that. And here we also have is part of the Batman animated series. Here we have is Man-Bat. That's a cool one. That one I know is going for a lot of money. From the old DC Direct, I believe it was them that made the Man-Bat. So yeah, my friend is gonna be re-releasing Man-Bat. That's pretty awesome. I'm definitely gonna pick him up once I see him. And that's pretty much it from Batman the Animated Series. Next up here we have, it is a rumor of the Justice League animated line, and also from the Superman the Animated Series. They talked about this in the live stream.
Did the Justice League and then Superman and Lois. Is there any chance that we might see Superman the animated series down the line? Because that's like a whole world that you can definitely build out, even with like Aquaman and Green Lantern, and then
that's what I was going to ask. You
Darkseid and all that.
Yeah, there's New Gods in there for sure. Yeah. It's a natural progression. Yeah, I think we've got more life in the animated Batman world for now. But obviously, Justice League animated on the DC Direct side was Justice League and out. There's definitely a plethora of characters to choose from there. So I think, as long as the planets align, everything works out. Yeah. I would say that's the natural next step for sure.
And continuing with the animated line, here we have is Super Friends. This is the ones that are replacing the Batman 66 line. Here we have is Aquaman. We have Bizarro. We have Batman Bizarro, Brainiac, and Zan. I end up finding out that this is from the cartoon and not the superpowers. This is Super Friends. So yeah, I was confused last time I mentioned this guy on the video. So he's part of the Winter Twins. So yeah, that makes sense. And that's pretty much it. This is a video of just a bunch of recaps with some evidence in here. I know all of them don't have evidence, but most of the old ones that I mentioned a long time ago that have yet to be actually turn into figures, those kind of do have some evidence in there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This was going to be a 1-hour video, but I ended up making it into a 30-minute video. It was just mostly me just yapping, so I don't think you missed out on much of it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. As always, drop a like, all that good stuff that YouTube likes, and I'll see you guys in the next one.